As the world faces a stressful time with the rise of the coronavirus pandemic, the message for all of us is clear. Stay at home to avoid the spread of the virus. But for millions of people here in the Philippines, social distancing is a luxury they simply cannot afford. And I, as an engineering student of USTP, I believe that by simply following the rules that were implemented by the government is already a great contribution for the fight against this pandemic. And also by spreading the right knowledge and information about COVID-19 through any means of communication, especially in social media. So here, I will show you a video that will educate us what COVID-19 is.
So the whole family of coronaviruses are named coronavirus because corona means crown. And so this refers to the way that the virus looks under the microscope, like there's a crown on the top of the virus. Some of them, 4 or 5 different kinds, cause common diseases among humans. Everything from the common cold to mild or moderate respiratory illnesses. Other kinds of coronaviruses affect animals. And sometimes, on rare occasions, we see coronaviruses jump from animal species into the human population. The 2019 novel coronavirus is getting a lot of attention now because it is a new kind of coronavirus we haven't seen among humans before. The theory is that it may have jumped from an animal species into the human population and then begun spreading. We have seen some people that have died of this disease, and we know that there are already thousands of cases. So people are concerned because we don't yet know exactly how severe the disease will be or how far it will spread. When a new virus emerges, we often have to learn much more about it. And one of the things that we question is, how does it transmit from person to person? We know that most respiratory viruses are spread by large droplets that come out when people cough and sneeze and stay aloft usually for about 6 feet in front of them. They land on surfaces and then can also be transmitted between person to person by touching those surfaces, such as doorknobs or other surfaces. Other viruses can spread in the air and stay aloft for a longer period of time in small droplet nuclei. For this current 2019 coronavirus, we're not yet sure whether it is droplet or airborne transmission. So we're erring on the side of caution and taking protection as if it was spread by the airborne route. We're still learning a lot about this 2019 novel coronavirus to understand how dangerous it might be. Right now, the majority of the cases are in China. We know that some travelers have brought the virus to other countries, including the United States. I think one of the main things to keep in mind is that this is respiratory virus season, and we have other respiratory viruses like influenza that we need to take precautions because we know we have thousands of cases and thousands of deaths in this country every year from influenza. Given the ongoing transmission of the virus in China, we have a travel alert that was issued by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So at this time, until we know more, avoid non-essential travel to China. Johns Hopkins Health System and health systems across the nation are busy right now preparing to safely identify, isolate, evaluate, and care for patients with the 2019 novel coronavirus. We have the capability of doing this safely by utilizing personal protective equipment, by implementing travel screening so that we can quickly identify patients who have risk factors for the disease, and then implementing isolation precautions, the use of personal protective equipment, and other measures to make sure that we limit the spread of the virus. At the Johns Hopkins Hospital and throughout our health system, we routinely care for patients infected with diseases that are spread by the airborne route. So we have expertise to do this safely. When a new virus comes along that has unknown risks, we have extra measures that we can put in place, including our biocontainment unit that can advise us and put plans in place to safely care for these patients.
Everyone can get COVID-19. However, there's always a way to lessen or to stop the spreading of this virus. So here are some important practices that we should follow to avoid the spreading of this virus.
Thanks for stopping by. This is 2 Minute Classroom, and today we're talking about how you can stop the spread of and protect yourself from a virus. We'll be talking generally about the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, but the information is relevant for many common viruses. And just so there is no confusion, the purpose of this video is not to cause fear, but to educate and inform so that we can each take part in stopping the spread of this coronavirus and any other virus. Now, on to stopping the virus. In order to stop the spread of a virus, you need to understand how it spreads. Many viruses, including the coronavirus, spread from person-to-person contact, specifically through respiratory water droplets. These droplets get into the air and on surfaces anytime you sneeze, cough, or even touch your mouth or nose and then touch some surface. This is exactly how the common cold, the flu, and the coronavirus spread. Because the virus spreads from person to person, each of us has the power to stop the spread of the virus. There are 3 main methods of prevention that I want to highlight. Method number 1. Regularly wash your hands and disinfect surfaces. The CDC recommends you wash your hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer if you can't wash your hands. This removes germs, bacteria, and yes, viruses from your hands so that you don't infect yourself or others. Wash your hands before you eat, after you sneeze or cough, and anytime you use the bathroom. Additionally, you can kill most viruses, including the coronavirus, with regular household cleaning spray. So wipe down surfaces at home, school, work, and anywhere else you frequent. The second method of prevention is to avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. These parts of the face have a mucous membrane where viruses and bacteria can easily get into and infect your body. The virus has to get into your body to infect you, so wash your hands regularly and keep them clear of your face, and others' faces for that matter. Which brings us to our third method of prevention. Stay home when you're sick. This is always good advice, but is especially critical when there is a pending pandemic. Remember, for a virus to spread, it must come from an infected person in respiratory water droplets and enter a healthy person through a mucous membrane, usually on their face. So if you feel sick, stay home. Going to very public places like school or work creates a lot of opportunity for a virus to spread to multiple people who can then spread it to others, and it spreads exponentially from there. So stay home if you feel sick, for everyone's sake. The more people who understand the importance of these methods of prevention, the better off we all are.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to wash your hands, stay at home, and be safe.